Hello my good students. Welcome back to our War on the Sea Let's Play series, where we are fuming but also rather excited from the previous episode on Monday, which came out. It was an up and down episode where we certainly sank the US carrier which has been harassing us for the past few days, but we did also take some major damage to the Shokaku here, still reeling from that and deciding whether to send that back for rest and repair or to risk it and keep that out in the field. So that means both of our task forces, our surface task forces, are thinking about rest and repairs. We're certainly sending the Fuso task force off to swap some ships out there. So that's the goal for today. That will take 7 in-game hours, so it should not be very difficult to do. Otherwise, we're going to be covering the Shokaku's return to the Shortland Islands to at least rearm, and we'll see about the damage there. Let's just quickly review the damage that we took and see what sort of state we're in. Make things a little more visual. So the Shokaku does have 3 completely destroyed and flooded compartments on the bows there. So Cersei's still operable, operational. I do still have 3 flight compartments available to us. So the main points, what the hell was we doing here? Not even given us any orders. And they still want to disobey me. It's ridiculous. Let's tell this one to break and just stop before we get any accidental damage. So it's the Myoko as well here that is rather a problem, and that might be why the Naganami here is moving away, because this is only moving at a speed of 26% of its full capacity. We have lost an aircraft catapult, so we've lost our funnel completely, but we've also lost completely a propeller, which is the reason for our movement speed malus there. And of course you can see all of the flooding compartments on the rear of the ship there. That was because of an airdrop torpedo yesterday. So we're definitely going to want to send the Myoko back. We're going to want to reinforce that. Our other ships, the Chikuma here is not looking too bad. The Kongo is possibly in need of a repair. It's moving at 85% speed, with the general efficiency being removed by 5% or lowered by 5%. And everything else looking a tad on the Bass's side here. The destroyer's not looking great either. So if we go to the strategic map, we will have a look at what we want to do, to be honest. Cersei send them back to the Shortland Islands to rearm, but we'll see what we've done with the Fuso task force when that does rest and repair, and we'll send, of course, this back. With the plan, I want to finish the series. We're not going to need these ships anymore, so I will put all of them in rest and repair into Rabaul, and that way we will get some nice juicy command points back to recuperate these losses. Otherwise, we do have our I-15s and such patrolling around. I'm going to keep this one actually on the same path over here. Maybe it will intercept the remainder of the escort that was covering that enemy carrier. Otherwise, all of our planes should be returning back to the Shokaku, and we will see what happens. I will see you in a second. Alrighty then, so we have returned with the Fuso task force back to Rabaul, and I have already released the Tonne and the Fuso there, and that has brought our command points all the way up to 185. So we do still have the Furutaka, Kumano and Chokai there as heavy cruisers, and they are looking fairly decent actually. Just the Kumano there, which has got a secondary gun damage, and its aircraft catapults launch is it could do better, but it does have 2 catapult launchers, so it's not a loss really there. So that's brought our command points right up. So you know what we're going to get, guys. It is, if we go to New Sea and we go to Japan, of course, battleships, and that's right, it is going to be the return of the And there we go. Oh my god. So technically the Musashi, but it's still of course Yamato class. So what we're going to do is try and merge groups there. Like that. Excellent stuff. Excellent stuff. Let's just double check the position of that. Do want it to be central, so we're going to put the Makanami swap positions there. And that will actually be rather useful with the torpedoes and the Makanami, of course. Let's double check the rest of our formation here. The Chokai is going to be on the port side with Suzuki there. Wondering if I want all of the destroyers, or at least, yeah, all of the destroyers on the front then, maybe. Tell you what, we'll leave it like that for now. I think that's fairly decent. With the foot attacker with most of its guns actually at the bows of the ship there, both of them being super firing, that's fine to have it on the front. The Commando, perhaps, we should maybe swap this out with Suzitsky actually. I'm thinking that with submarine hunting capabilities, really. Like that. Brilliant stuff. And of course I do want to keep our cruisers on the outside of our formation there. Just so we can get our torpedoes in position. So they're going to come down all the way down to Guadalcanal, and that's going to take 28 hours. Actually not too bad, that is fine. And because the Yamato class can actually get to a slightly higher top speed than the Fuso, that is going to help our mobility just very, very nicely there. Very, very nicely indeed. So with that done, I'll be back with you in a second. Alrighty then, so we have the Shokaku here at the Shortland Islands. We are, of course, going to press rearm all ships, and that's obviously not going to repair any damage. Look at all of that to Myoko, they're absolutely disgusting stuff. What we're going to do, though, is decide whether we want to replace the Kongo. I'm definitely going to get the Myoko out of there. Let's double check how much a Kongo would cost. I can't remember exactly what it was. So we're on battleships and Kongo. That would take 64 points, and we can certainly afford that. Fusos and Issei's, Nagato perhaps. I might want to go for a Nagato actually. That'd be different. Be certainly slower, but more firepower, and we can try that actually. It'd be nice to change things out and do something new. So yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. No particular tactical strength from that, but we're going to do that. We're going to keep the Shokaku actually stationed at the Shortland Islands there, and we're going to keep reinforce it with the Task Force 7 destroyers as well. These did have 2 supply ships with them. I've dropped those off just for a quick boost in points. Again, like I said, we're not planning on retaking the Russell and the Florida Islands at the moment. I do have something somewhat more different in mind there. So we do have Yamato, of course, coming down. We're going to rename this Musashi Task Force, like that. And I think we're looking okay. We're just going to recover. We're going to regroup, and that should be okay, I think. So we are still in nighttime hours at the moment, so we're all safe from air attack at the moment. We do, of course, have our submarine hunter group and our destroyers down here covering Guadalcanal. And this one, I think we're going to bring it back up to have a look in this sort of area very quickly. So let's continue. Right, so after a few more in-game hours, we have finally released our full fuel and merchant convoy here. So that's given us a lovely boost to 154 command points. So what we're going to do is go to New Sea and get the replacements for the Shokaku task force. I think we are going to go for a Nagato there. So let's get that for 68 points. And we're going to get, I think, another heavy cruiser of some sort. I think perhaps a Takao Myoko. Let's see, we do only have the Maya available now. Let's get that. I really like the Takaos, just even if it is just because they look nice. So let's do that. Instantly back down to 58 command points. Not a problem there. Let's go all the way down, and that's a lovely little boost to our firepower in that particular task force. So we have some scouting aircraft out from our submarines here. If I just click on them, try and cycle through them, you can see the patterns here, just looking in the gaps where our submarines aren't looking, and that should hopefully spot anything about in there to protect our hunting group and of course Guadalcanal for any further merchant convoys. And you can bet there will be another enemy aircraft carrier about. We do have a limited window, I believe, for our plan of attack. So hopefully the AI doesn't want to recruit the last carrier they have available to them within that time. So we will see what happens there. But otherwise, it's just scouting and recovering, I think. So I'll see you in a second when we make contact with the enemy, I think. Or if that's not the case, when everyone has regrouped. So see you in a second. Alright, so nothing's actually happened in that whole day. We are now at 5 AM on the 30th of September 1942. So our Kongo and Myoko are going to go into the rest and repair. Going to confirm that. That's 138 points now available to us. Do we want to spend them on anything? That is the question. You know what? Possibly. Possibly. What we might be tempted to do is get a second Shokaku. We could get the Zuikak for pretty much all of our points, and we could put them in the Musashi Task Force. Where is the Musashi Task Force? It is here, and that would be a lot of ships. That'd be a lot of ships to manage. Yeah, bloody hell, why not go for it? Why not go for it, actually? Fuck it. You know, that's the attitude we want. Zuikak, there you go. That's 120 points. Go straight for it. Now, I know what you're saying. There's literally nothing protecting it. It's absolutely fine. We'll put it down here, keep us out of range for the moment, and it'll be able to regroup with the Yamato for the minute. Yeah, that'll be fine. These were going to regroup with the Shokaku Task Force down here, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Shokaku has been moved over here just as a back support line for our Musashi. So hopefully it will be able to launch aircraft in conjunction with the Guadalcanal aircraft, which we are going to launch some Zeros actually, just as a scout. And we are of course going to launch some other planes off as scouts from our catapult launchers. So let's go to the Musashi Task Force and do just that, shall we? Let's go to the new, well, not the new, we do have had the Chokai for a while now. Let's go to launch aircraft and Jake, like that. You're going to go just zigzag around here, like that. Excellent stuff, just to make sure all of our bases are covered there. Do have something available on the I-15 here. That's going actually to come in a sort of zigzag like that around in this empty space here and just come back around like that. I-19, you need to do some forward scouting, I think. So let's scout off like this, down there, and actually gonna just jump up around here and circle back around like that, I think. Go back to the Musashi Task Force and get something off of the, let's see, the Kumano, like that. And I think you're going to double check around this area as well. Just a wide sort of zigzag and actually back on top like that. Excellent stuff. So that we're not caught by surprise. See you in a second. And that second is pretty much straight after we press play. This should possibly be the escort force from the carrier we sunk. What we're going to do is move our I-19 into position to hit that. We're going to ignore it with the Jake there and just keep it round patrolling to keep some sight on like that. We're going to carry on. Which direction is it going? Yeah, straight for us there. Excellent stuff. Do we want to bring our... I think we're just about on course for it. I'm going to bring us down like that. We do see a scout plane off like this. So what I'm going to do is launch perhaps a Pete from the Musashi. And that's going to go straight down and just assume it's come off that sort of direction, I think. Because that might actually not be... This might not be what we think it is, but it should be launched from here. Interesting stuff. Okay. So they've got another merchant convoy in. Okay. That's not a problem. We do have I-15 in range there. And actually I want to hit possibly a light cruiser with that, I think. So, some very nice little targets here. It's been quite a while since we've done the submarine hunting action, isn't it? So, let's go in like that. This one's going to be done first, and that should be just about in range there. Brilliant stuff. Let's go straight into the tactical view. Oh, lovely stuff. Lovely morning torpedo spread here. And we are actually looking at a decent position here. We just need to turn around a little bit. Some decent distance there to plan our attack. So what we're going to do is hard to port. Get our periscope up. Like that. Lovely stuff. What have they got? What have they got? Oh, is that 2 Clevelands? Surprise, surprise. That's 2 more Clevelands as well. This must be the carrier escorts. So, that's a lot of destroyers, actually. That is a lot of destroyers. Okay, okay. Well, I think Cleveland would possibly be the best attack choice here. So we're going to go for, I think... As we go for a back one, perhaps? What's the position there, and according to their formation? Okay, let's go for this Cleveland here. We are going to identify it as such without double checking, because we're just that good. At least that's what I tell myself. We're going to plan a spread of 4 torpedoes. We'll see how our solution goes. It is at 60% at the moment, roughly. A 2-degree spread might be okay, but we shall see. Otherwise, not a lot to say. Once we've fired, we will of course start retreating and diving. What is the distance there? 4.8 kilometers. Okay, okay. What sort of distance is it to the number 2 here? It's 4 kilometers. We should be alright with that. I'm just going to turn around a little bit more and see how we're going with that, I think. Okay, well, not necessarily the most successful of strikes there. We did fire with a solution bobbing between 68 and 70% there, but we're looking like we're getting some decent fires on there. I'm going to let those, I think, run for a bit, run their course, and see if we do get some more damage there. The sea state is at 3, so floods possibly won't spread too easily. It's fairly average sea state there. If we bring up and look at the wind speed to see about those fires, it is at 14 knots. That's not the worst, not the best for us. Fairly average speed there. We are, of course, retreating. We've dived down, we've got our periscope down, and we are going to tell ourselves to run silent, like that, and actually stop moving now, just to make sure they can't guess us. There's no thermal layers to hide under, unfortunately, and we can now retreat out. Well, unfortunately that was not a sunk Cleveland, and we did have to get out of there even though the fires were spreading, because they had found our location was starting to drop depth charges. So we got out of there fast, just before the depth charges could hit. So what we're going to do is move back up over here and try patrolling again for them. We are going to hit this supply convoy though with this submarine. Let's get a tad closer actually, just like that I think. That should be good enough there. Let's see, how are we? Yeah, it's a very similar situation to the last engagement there. So what we're going to do is scope up like that, turn hard to starboard there, and that is a lot of ships. There was a lovely, lovely loss of targets there. So, Cleveland's all round again, and then a shitload of merchant ships. So what we're going to go for is, of course, a Cleveland. And going for this will make it easier for potential air attacks, of course. Cleveland's having a monstrous amount of AA on them. So let's try and identify it and go to this one. And there we go, already getting a very nice solution up on there. So let's go for the same again. 4 torpedoes, I think, at a 2-degree spread, like that. We do have a very nice solution actually, already 80%. We are possibly going to get spotted by that Kingfisher in the sky though, which is going to be a problem if that is the case. So I think we've turned perhaps just enough there, like that. What we're going to do is reverse and turn, I think. Get a bit of distance between them. We are going to be sat at roughly 2 kilometers away from them once they get closer, and that will be in range of their sonar detection. So we do want to try and get out of there as quickly as possible. This should be a lightning strike here, but once we've lined up our torpedoes, of course. But yeah, it's rather. We've only just won the battle on Guadalcanal. After, oh Christ, months it feels of fending that off. It's a ridiculous time that was going on for. I think we've turned enough though. So what we're going to do is carry on, I think, reversing, just get the tiniest bit more distance between us. Do want a flatter broadside to fire at. Coming in from an angle, no matter what sort of spread you have with your torpedoes, is not optimal. You do want to spread out the damage like we keep saying. So I will leave you with that and see how this goes. It's not a Cleveland though, it's a Brooklyn. Excellent stuff. Haven't seen one of those for a while. Actually, might have a quick look at what the destroyers are. That is a Bagley perhaps. Oh no, it could be a Benham actually. Let's have a quick look. I think that's a Benham. Here we go. Yeah, that's a Benham. Lovely stuff. This one, same again, I think. Or is it? Yeah, it is. Brilliant stuff. So yeah, that's that. I will see you in a second. And there you have it. That's a sunk Cleveland. All 4 torpedoes hitting the mark there. Although it was somewhat concentrated towards the midships and the bow there, it did the job. It did the job. I will certainly not complain about that. And I think we're about ready to retreat as well. Let's bring up the timer. Let's have a look. Possibly not just yet. No, not at all ready. And that is rather horrible because they will certainly know where we are. We're right on top of them. They saw the torpedoes come in there. And yeah, there's not a lot of distance between us at all. Unfortunately, not a lot we can do. Don't really want to go down to an unsafe depth here. We might want to go down to 90 meters below sea level, I think. So let's do that, I think, like that. Just another 10 meters. I think maybe reduce our speed so they have less chance of hearing us. Otherwise, I think that's as much as we can do. Don't seem to be right on top of us just yet, but they will be dropping depth charges in the suspected area. They can't be too far off there. With no thermal, or there is a layer depth. We could sit in there. We are under it. Should be okay. Sea state's 4 as well, which is higher than our previous engagements. That will make things a little more difficult for them. But I will let you know. Otherwise, I'll see you back on the strategic map. And actually, not too bad. Got out of there. Fine. We do have our submarine hunting group in the area. You know what? I want that to pull back, actually. Cover the carrier over here and patrol round in a circle, go up here and such, just to have a quick look like that. Otherwise, we can engage this with the Musashi Task Force. I will bring the I-17 there to screen, I think, and bring the Musashi Task Force just up here to patrol in this area here to protect Guadalcanal. Otherwise, I might actually launch some air units off from here from Guadalcanal to scout those out again, just to keep some eyes out. And then we can think about launching some VALs in the area as well, maybe to hit their supply ships like that. We do of course have the Shokaku force there to launch things as well. What is this force doing here? Why are you stuck? That's a very interesting path you've taken. Lovely stuff. We'll see in a second when we make contact with the enemy, I think. Alrighty, so joining me a few minutes later, we have caught sight of the same task force again. We did have to come in from a distance of 10 kilometers away from them, so I've just been taking the time to get a bit closer, and I think this is an acceptable firing solution now, just to get a few torpedoes off and try and hit one of the convoy ships, or the merchant ships rather. They're all convoy ships, you fool, if they're in a convoy. Probably could have gone for the back one there as a more ideal target, but we are going to go for the number 8 here, just to try our luck. We did fire with a 67 to 70% solution, firing 4 torpedoes at a 2-degree spread again, and then we have just enough torpedoes for one more strike with this submarine, and then we'll have to pull back. We are not retreating now. Let's put the timer back on and down scope and just sit and wait, I think, and see what happens. That is rather unlucky. They did pass straight under and in front of this ship, but we might just get the bow of this merchant, maybe. Oh no, they all missed. What a wasted day. It's okay, I haven't lost anything here, but neither have we gained anything. Not a problem, we can live with that. It's not the worst engagement we've had recently. Just lost a few torpedoes there. We can see some destroyers over there, it's very interesting. So what we're going to do, carry on, pull back a little, and see what happens there. I will see you back in a second. Alrighty then, joining me, I'd say very precarious possible strike here. We did decide to launch some valves off of the Shokaku here, and the back group here already coming under fire. So what we were planning to hit was perhaps the Brooklyn, maybe to soften it up for another airstrike later on. But I think what we're going to do is actually go for a cargo ship instead. We're going to strike with all of our valves onto one target here. I think what we're going to do though is first bring them out of the AA fire here. That would appear to be a good idea. So let's bring them full speed, I think, with this group that is certainly under fire. Try and get them out of there, and we're going to strike from the rear, I think, on the rearmost cargo ship here. So sort of getting back to how we started this campaign, I think, just defending Guadalcanal, making sure our air raids are successful against their cargo ships. They are of course going to take evasive manoeuvres. We do have the I-15 in this engagement, but the distance to target is 12 kilometers. What we could do is try and move that now that they're moving into a particular direction. Try and move that into position maybe to get a second strike off, but you never know how things are going to go. Still under flak fire here because visibility is right up. Now the time is getting a little later in the day. It's still an early morning, but of course the weather is getting nice as well. Nice and bright for them. Let's bring all of our valves into position then, like this. Let's slow this one down to match the speeds of the other groups, and that should be just fine there. You know what, we could possibly still go for the Brooklyn. What with how their formation is now, might not be a bad idea. We could come round to their sterns actually, like that, pretty much. Carry on like this. I might increase this group's speed to full just so they can catch up. And I think we're actually going to tell everyone to form up into a box formation because we've had some decent success with that. I believe the box formation, perhaps, when you look at it, might be for actual level bombers protecting themselves because you have the certain formation with the covering fire of the machine gun posts. But I don't know really, because looking at it, this one you'd think would be protecting the two down here, but level bombers don't typically have a undercarriage machine gun port, which is why they're so susceptible to being hit from either directly above or below. We'll see. We don't. We've not actually managed to use any Betty level bombers, have we? Which is rather a shame. They don't quite have the fuel to take engagements from Rabaul down to Guadalcanal. which is why it would have been nice actually to, of course, increase the level of Guadalcanal, or the airfield there. Just going to make sure we get the right target here because the map is being unreliable. If we just go a bit closer like that, I think. There we go. Excellent stuff. Oh, I see. So I think, yeah, from the rear here, go at a decent speed. Try and evade the Brooklyn's AA. So it's going to be a messy strike, certainly. I think if we tell this group to attack now, just get the other two to attack as well, I think, before we get too carried away there in the evasion. Yeah, should be alright. Should be alright. They have lowered their speed to make sure that the bombs don't bounce or anything, or go straight through and don't harm. Let's have a look, see how that's going. Ah, it's a nice few central hits. That's what we're looking for here. Not necessarily to sink the Brooklyn. Was looking for a few less VOW losses though. But I think that will be okay actually. Hopefully that will destroy some of the central small arms there. We have not really hit this side, the port side, so we're going to have to think about that. But it did take quite a few decent bomb hits there. So let's click retreat, because I don't think our I-15 is going to get into a decent position there. We did lose, that's not good. 1.5's worth of squadrons on the VOWs there. Not a problem. We do have the Shokaku again next to the Shortland Islands and such, but it's not a problem again. Certainly kicking back at them. So, yeah, I'll get back to you on the map and see how it goes. We'll let these, of course, these fires spread if we can. What's the wind state? So it's picked up a bit to 19.3 knots. So we shall see. We shall see. Okay, so we're going to tell our VOWs to return to the Shokaku there, and indeed they are. So what we're going to do is, I think we have time for one more strike on them. So what we're going to do is get some Kates out and either hit the Brooklyn again with them, and try and possibly hit a cargo ship there as well, and that will soften them up very nicely for a surface engagement later on, I think. Do of course have our submarines here as well. We're going to bring the I-17 back a little bit and keep the I-15 in position there, I think. Do of course need to keep an eye out for the ships that we spotted with the I-19. So I'm actually going to launch some. I can't launch anything from there, not a problem. Going to launch actually from the Chikuma, get a Jake out and scout over here because we are severely lacking with our Jake presence. Keep that up like that. Should have some available on our submarines as well, so let's keep on that. Do not want to completely forget about this, otherwise we will be tunnel visioning to hell, and that is not a great place to be tunnel visioning to, if if I'm told right. Have had people do it before, it's not pleasant. Let's go over and get everything off that we can, like that. Let's actually get some people in this direction as well, that'd be very nice, wouldn't it? Excellent stuff. We come back around like that. Just need a few out because they're all fairly close together. Yeah, we do see a Jake coming out like that, or a Kingfisher rather. I think I am actually going to launch some VOWs off of Guadalcanal here to help with the effort over here. So that should be fairly easy, like that. Let's bring them all together now, shall we? Everyone all together now. Great stuff. Let's go into tactical, shall we? Which is, of course, here. So, oh, right on top of them again. Right on top of them. So let's come out a bit, shall we? First, like that, please. And actually, we can actually already start to dive down, perhaps. That'd be a decent idea, I think. Let's get everyone over. Like that. And go. Brilliant stuff. We're going to tell the VOWs. Let's make sure we can see us on the map first. It'll be a bit easier for me there. Of course, don't want to lose anyone. Let's get them, yeah, like that. And if we can, I'm going to tell them to go straight in and attack the Brooklyn there. Maybe hit a few more of their AA mounts. Again, not looking necessary to strike or to sink it there. But we'll see. We can tell the Kates in the meantime to come up and have a look, I think, at that. Brilliant stuff. Now that we've got the map in use, Have lost a vowel, not a problem. How's it looking over there? Oh, decent, decent. That's a couple bombs. That's fair. Yeah, I do still have the flak fire coming off of the starboard side here. So, okay. What I might do then is hit the Brooklyn with one group of Kates and then go for, I think, this ship behind it. Did lose nearly all of our vowels there, but it's okay. They're Guadalcanal launch ones. Don't need to do anything in particular to sort those out. Not a problem, not a problem, not a problem. So I think what we're going to do is get this group of Kates to move up and attack the Brooklyn here. Like that. I'm going to identify it just to make sure I can see it properly on the map. Like that. Brilliant stuff. So, yeah, I think moving up straight like this would probably be a good idea. This group can go for the... I forgot what it's called now, the cargo ship over here. Brain just did not want to work there. Yeah, let's go for the number 5. Yeah, let's go for the number 5 there. Press T, please. Please, turn to a attack cursor. That would be great. Excellent stuff. We can come in like that. So, let's look at our positions. Think we're all good here. Yeah, let's tell them all to attack. Excellent stuff. Otherwise, we will start losing time. Brilliant stuff. Oh, it's been a while since we've done... I'll say a while. We destroyed a carrier with Kates in the previous episode. But I feel like it's been a while since we've done one that was a little more relaxed. Having said that, it's not at all guaranteed that there will be a clean battle. Could very much lose some Kates here. And I'm sure we will. Never come out intact with our Kate strikes, do we? If we get a decent lead here, actually, might be able to hit a couple torpedoes with the rear ship here. There we go, all dropped. Let's increase our speed then and get out, please. Excellent stuff, excellent stuff. Oh, there we go. Lost the case already. These ones have all dropped, and I believe these ones have as well. Excellent stuff, excellent stuff. Very nice. Easy, easy, easy. There we go. Let's just double check which one that was. I believe it was the Brooklyn. No, okay, so it's both of them at the same time. Excellent stuff. Very nice little strike there. How many Kates? We lost 3 Kates. I think that's rather acceptable, actually. That is very nice for 2 ships, one of them being a light cruiser. How does that affect their count of Brooklyns, actually? Because we haven't actually sunk very many. Yeah, that's the 3rd one we've sunk. Fair enough. 3 out of 9. We're getting there. Would have been nice to hit something on collateral damage, but you know, it's okay, not a problem. Let's hit retreat and see you back on the strategic map. And on that, I'm afraid, I think that is all we have time for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. In the next episode, of course, we're going to carry on defending Guadalcanal and see what sort of progress we can make there. I think what we're going to do is try and destroy the merchant ships there, make sure Guadalcanal is safe, and then enact our master plan. Bring the Shokaku down, of course. How long is that going to take, actually, if we look at the course there? Yeah, that'll take about 13 hours, not a problem. All good. So, again, thank you very much for watching. Hope you have enjoyed the video, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I've been the Edified Gamer. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.